Welcome to Racer TV. I'm your host, Rachel Ayers. Joined with me is Rodney Smith. We're here at the second stop of the Grand National Cross Country Series, the General GNCC. Rodney, what should we expect of the track today?
Well, Georgia's round 2, like you said, Rachel. It's a lot more of a typical GNCC. The trail's a lot tighter. We got a lot more trees out there, and you got Georgia clay. So I think we can look for a lot of riders that maybe didn't fare so well, like Bill Balance, 6-time champion in Florida, to be up on this podium today. I think we're going to see a good race. You got Chris Boris that come out of Florida with a lot of confidence with the win there, and I think he's looking to get back up on that podium. So I think we can look for a good race today.
Typically, Florida winners are not usually the same as the Georgia winners. Who do you see getting up there differently this week?
Well, you're right. Georgia's a lot more of a typical GNCC, so the guys have their bikes set up a lot different and stuff here, and I don't know. I think we can see a lot closer race. I think you can see Chris Jenks and Chris Borich, and you're going to see William Yoakley on the new Suzuki also. But it's going to be a good battle.
Yeah, well, Ronnie and I are going to tune in. Let's head down to the start with Jason.
Well, thanks, Rachel and Rodney. Jason Wygant down here at the starting line. Our pro riders, well, they're about to gather on this white chalk line right now to get ready to go racing. But don't let the smooth, grassy start mislead you. This track is wild, it's nasty, it's tough. It's the Maxxis General GNCC. Let's get an inside look at it, thanks to our Scott USA helmet cam. And this is a Scott USA helmet cam giving you an idea of what these racers will face today. It's tight woods, deep ruts, and red Georgia clay. It can get soft when it's muddy, and when it's dry, it gets very, very slick. So a variety of terrain in about a 12-mile racetrack here, but it's really the woods that are all the difference. Compared to our first round in Florida, which was wide open, the riders are going to be tight, twisting, and having to be very smart to pick lines on a tight track today. So completely different conditions than what we saw 1 week ago. So that's the racetrack. Let's get down to the start and get this pro race underway. Ricky Towery, our official Grand National Cross Country starter, tells him 10 seconds away from starting these engines and firing off into the first turn. ITP Whole Shot Award on the line here, and they're into turn 1. Looks like Balance trying to get wheels out front. No, it's the number 4 of Chris Jenks grabbing the early lead. He has your ITP Whole Shot Award, and look at these guys leaning on each other before they get into the woods. As we saw in the helmet cam, it won't be this wide open for long, so getting a good start is absolutely key. And on the inside, it's the number 4, the GT Thunder Honda of Chris Jenks, controlling the first turn, and he has the ITP Whole Shot Award and a couple of extra bucks in his pocket. Now you see battling behind him, that's Bill Balance and Chris Bithell banging wheels off each other. That's what Jenks is trying to avoid. He doesn't want to tangle with anyone. He just wants to go fast. We talked to him before the race.
Game plan is to get a great start. Just feel the first lap out. From what I walked, it looks like it's really fast. Just stay out of trouble. Figure out the motocross track the best as possible and keep track of Borich.
Well, interesting there from Jenks saying he doesn't, he's only worried about Chris Borich, not Bill Balance. And Balance has taken over the lead here, so you've still got to worry about your defending Suzuki Grand National Cross Country champion. Now we see one of the softer sections of the course. Not as slick here, it's a mud bog. These guys are going to have to work it out for them as more riders come through there and make those ruts deeper. Right now, it continues to be Balance out front on the factory Yamaha. And how about that, Bithell? He is a rookie in the pro class, running in 3rd place right now, with Borich in 4th. And there's William Yoakley going back to the familiar 400 Suzuki today. He likes that in the tight woods. A little bit further back, there's Matt Smiley on that IRS Polaris Outlaw. And Jeremy Rice. Haven't seen Jeremy Rice all year. He's finally up back in the running as well. But it is Jenks now back in the lead. A little bit of dust starting to come up now, and he wants Bill Balance to eat that stuff. And Balance, well, he's got Bithell and Borich and Yoakley in pursuit. Lots of racing still to come, so stay with us. Grand National Cross Country action brought to you by Suzuki, ITP, Moose Racing, Yamaha, and Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Thanks for joining us here on the Outdoor Life Network. Chris Jenks leading this one. It's the Maxxis General GNCC from Georgia. And there's our champion, Bill Balance, dropping back to 4th. He was 2nd when we went to our break. Now he's got William Yoakley, his neighbor from Kentucky, behind him. But how about this 7 miles in on lap 1? It continues to be Chris Jenks. There's Jeremy Rice. A couple other riders battling it out here as they come through. The field's starting to string out already, and you see they are covered in mud, so it's going to be very difficult. Brian Baker going by, one of the veterans on the number 7. It's going to be very difficult for these guys to see if they want to move up in the pack. But it's Jenks. He's got clear vision right now, continuing to lead on the GT Thunder Honda. He grabbed the ITP Whole Shot Award, and look at how it paid off. Whoa, Bithell almost going over, bicycling on that team. That's the LTE, the Looney Tune Exhaust Team, running Chris Bithell up in the number 2 position. Then it is the Killer Bees of Borich and Balance, and Yoakley just needs to pick up his pace of hair. He has just been out of sight. You see, he cannot find those guys up in front of him, and it's a lot easier to run when you can see the guys in front, and that's what Jenks is trying to prevent. He doesn't want Bithell here to get a look into his lines and get a look at his pace. He wants Bithell to struggle on his own. Now there's Borich in 3rd, and he's trying to do the same thing, trying to put distance on Balance. But I'll tell you what, these are long races, these GNCCs. You see Balance calmly looking over his shoulder. He sees where Yoakley is. He is not concerned at all. Now, one of the most difficult portions on this racetrack, the Suzuki Special Test. Logs, rocks, and watch this. They're going to go over tractor tires. And if you pick the wrong line and get a wheel stuck in there, you're probably going to be there all day. And the crowd cheering because Chris Jenks has negotiated that Suzuki Special Test without problem. 1 lap now in the books. There is Bithell, the rookie, in the number 2 position. There is Chris Borich, and he's got some ground to make up on those 2 upstarts out front. Balance and Yoakley coming through as well. Here is Smiley now on the Polaris Outlaw, and number 9, that's our Pro-Am champion from last year, Adam McGill, barely able to negotiate over that tire section. The fans like seeing the riders come through there, but the riders there, they've got to hate what they're up against. Battle here between Jeremy Rice and Adam McGill, both former Pro-Am champions in this series. Look at this pack. Brian Baker now on the inside of the yellow quad is Michael Houston. There's Johnny Gallagher going over the Maxxis tires. Suzuki Special Test here at the Maxxis General GNCC. Very challenging because if you want to make passes, you have a temptation to focus on the other riders and not yourself. That's when you make mistakes. If you put a tire in those tires, you are in trouble. Our leaders are now through pit road. It's the Chris's, Jenks and Bithell and Borich, 1, 2, 3. Balance has to hustle. He cannot afford to let these guys get away. He'll have to waste a lot of energy charging and trying to catch back up. Here is Smiley on the Polaris Outlaw. Best ride of the season for him so far in 6th. McGill right behind him. Then is Rice. Drag racing down this section. Brandon Balance there. There's Scotty Barron. Brian Baker. The rest of the field really starting to string out here. You see the roost that they're all having to take. That stuff hurts when you get hit by it, whether it's small rocks or even dirt. Let's go to our pro tip of the week. Rocky Mountain ATV MC and William Yoakley.
Hello and welcome to the Rocky Mountain ATV Pro Tip of the Week. Join with me, it's factory Suzuki racer William Yoakley. I know you depend on a good bike for racing. What else is important?
Well, along with a good bike, you gotta have some of the parts. And one of the first things that I do when I go racing is I get dressed, and first thing I do is put on my ARC racing gear that I get from Rocky Mountain, and put on my Scott goggles, and then I go, obviously to my GNCC ITV tires that are basically designed and developed for these type conditions. Once I get all that stuff together, I'm pretty much ready to go racing.
Well, check out Rocky Mountain ATV for all your racing needs.
Thanks a lot, Rachel. Check them out at RockyMountainATVMC.com. And that's where you get the parts to go fast like these guys. It's a battle between the Chris's out front here at the Maxxis General. Chris Jenks, Chris Bithell, Chris Borich running 1, 2, 3. They're starting to tighten up. There's Balance in 4th. And Yoakley, again, not quite able to latch onto that group. He's being very smart through this section. He knows that if he gets stuck in one of these mud bogs, he's going to be in a whole lot worse position than number 5. Here comes McGill. He has now gotten around Smiley. And that's Scotty Barron hanging on with this lead pack as well. Everyone wanted to keep the leaders at least reasonably in sight. We've got a big change up front, though. Look at this. It is now Balance in the number 2 position. He has hustled. He has gotten around. That is Borich. And they're starting to leave Bithell behind. Let's see if the rookie has the fitness to hold on at the end of the first lap or second lap. And now in the first place position, Bill Balance has taken over the lead. So Balance has suddenly turned up the afterburners. And you've got to respect what the champion was able to do. He sized these guys up, and he got right around them. Let's talk to our leader, Bill Balance.
I'm expecting a real good race. We had to have some bad luck there in Florida and broke a tie rod, but we're here today, in Georgia. We've raced here for 5 years, I think, and I think I've won 3 or 4 times here. So it's been a good track for me. A lot of red clay, some motocross, and I'm looking to have a good race. We've been training hard all winter long. I've been physically the best shape I've ever been in. Suspension on the bike now, and it's working better than anything I've ever rode.
Well, the rumor, Jenks getting back in the lead here. The rumor from our spotters is that it is the motocross track that is favoring Balance. To get back into the woods here, though, it looks like Jenks able to overtake him, and now Bindle back in front of Borch. So the youngster doing a great job holding up with this top group up inside the top 3 right now. Back to the Suzuki Special Test. Jenks leading us through there again. Telephone poles, rocks, logs, and these tires, these big Maxxis tractor tires laid down. You'll see in a moment how these riders negotiate it. Let's see Borch get up on top. Got to be careful through that section. You see they take it very gingerly. Now into the scoring tent. They stop. They will actually scan a mark under their helmet. Their lap time gets recorded electronically, and they head back out for another lap. Yoakley, again, just trying to find a way to gain on those guys. It has been almost the exact same gap the last lap or so, and Yoakley doesn't look to be too aggressive there. I think he's happy where he is right now. He knows anything happens in GNCC racing, and you've got to be careful as you negotiate your way through these very rough portions of the racetrack. There is Adam McGill running strong. He's been battling with Matt Smiley all day. Let's talk to Smiley on that new Polaris Outlaw 500.
Well, we got a whole new bike this season. It's a Polaris Outlaw. Got an independent rear suspension, which is all new. It's a first of its kind for sport quads. The transition has been great. I don't want to get back on a straight axle machine after I rode this.
Well, Matt's understandably very happy with that machine. We've got another group of riders very happy with what they're riding as well. That's our GNCC women's class, and we'll spotlight that when we return. Welcome back. Grand National Cross Country action, the Maxxis General GNCC in Georgia. Let's look at our women's ATV race and get to know our racers.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Albright. I'm from Malabar, Florida.
Hi, my name's Kiri Rappert. I'm from Charlestown, Indiana. I'm riding the Honda 300EX.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Parton. I'm two-time national women's champion. I ride for Factory Polaris, Quads, Moose, and Maxxis.
Hi, I'm Angel Atwell. I'm from Uniontown, Pennsylvania. I'm on a YFC from Miller's Yamaha.
Hello, I'm Tracy Checo. I'm four-time GNCC ATV Women's Champion. I'm from Shamokin, Pennsylvania, and I'm a Factory Yamaha Alba ATV rider.
I'm Melissa Snyder. I'm from Ellisburg, Pennsylvania. This is my first race in the women's class.
I'm Ashley Whaley from Spencer, Indiana, and I race a Yamaha.
Hi, I'm Kristen Atwell, and I'm from Pennsylvania, and I ride for Buchanan Racing, and today is going to be an awesome day.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Vercade. I'm from Asbury, New Jersey.
Hi, I'm Shanna Bradshaw. I'm from Woodbine, Maryland. I'm Quincy Heller from Pennsylvania. I ride a 400EX, and I'd like to thank my mom and dad.
Hi, I'm Misty Legge. I'm from Jefferson, Ohio. I'm riding a Yamaha 450.
Hi, my name is Brenda Struble, and this is my first GNC race in the women's class.
Hi, my name's Kim Mazzarelli. I'm from Washington, Illinois.
All right, the women race on Saturday mornings, and when we started it here in Georgia, it was Tracy Checo, our defending champion of the class, getting out front early, and Tracy from Shamokin, Pennsylvania, was smoking today in Georgia. No competition whatsoever. You can see how much different the racetrack is compared to what our pros are on right now. There's still leaves and trees lying down on the racetrack, and it makes it tough on these female racers, but they go for it just as hard as any other class of Grand National Cross Country racing. For the moment, Tracy Checo has been the rider to beat. She dominated the race in Florida, and now she's going to make it 2 in a row with a commanding performance and a checkered flag in Georgia. Stephanie Parton and Jen Fulkerson rounding out the podium. Back to our pro race. Bill Balance now in the pits. You see Chris Borch just went by him. He comes by to get gas as well. Balance gets out. Borch still gassing up. A fresh set of Scott goggles for Borch. Can he get that Honda refired? He's losing time right now. Finally gets that thing underway. But Balance able to put a little extra time on him in the pits. Yoakley now into the pits as well. This is the Yoshimura Factory Suzuki team. He's back on that 400 Suzuki. He rode the new 450 in Florida. He said they will have that 450 dialed in for the tight woods soon. But for now, he's riding Old Reliable. And how about this? Chris Jenks not only in the lead, but you cannot even see these guys. Balance in the number 2 spot. Bindle still right there in 3rd, and Borch in 4th. But Balance is going to have to hustle because Jenks has pulled away. Borch going to have to do the same as well. He is in danger of losing touch with our leaders, and that is a nightmare. If you're a GNCC racer, you've got to stay in the hunt all day. Jenks playing a little conservatively there through the water. You saw him just get hard on the binders to slow down. Let's see what Balance does. A little bit smoother for our champion. They do not attack They do not attack that water that aggressively. They do not want to get their hands or their goggles completely covered in mud and water. Jenks has now gotten around Bithel for the number 3 position. They've been back and forth all day. When you're bumping and bagging like that in the woods, you've got to have the right equipment. For that, let's go to our Motorsport Hot Product of the Week.
Hi, I'm Pro ATV racer Tim Farr. I'm here today to spotlight DG's Race Series front bumper. This front bumper is high-strength aluminum tubing. It's designed to protect the front of the bike, the A-arms, the main frame, the plastic, the shocks, everything kind of up front here. Real high strength. We've used them for years. The whole Motorsport ATV race team uses this product and has great success with this. And this is a product that you can find at motorsport.com.
All right, thanks a lot to Tim Farr, National ATV Motocross Champion, with our motorsport.com Product of the Week. Bill Balance now taking the lead back here at the General GNCC, getting it back from Jenks. And what we've heard, there's a couple of big jumps on the motocross track here. That Balance is jumping, Forge, Jenks, and Bithel are not, and that allows Balance to get into the lead. Now, the last time he did it, Jenks got him back. Let's see what happens. Look at how hard Bithel is going in that number 4 position. He wants a shot at the podium. Yoakley's been solid all day in 5th. Now, Balance starting to get into lap traffic. That is going to make things difficult. This is the opportunity that Jenks needs to get back into the lead. Let's see what the young rider from West Virginia can do with Forge in tow in the 3rd place spot. It'll be interesting to see if Bithel can keep up with these guys. This is where they start to sprint. Here in the second half of these races, after the gas stop, is where they start to pick up the pace. And that is exactly what Bill Balance has done today. He's picked up the pace. He's using some of the air time that he's able to get to the motocross track to his advantage. And Jenks is hard-pressed to close the gap up back on him. Here is Boric in 3rd. Boric, our winner of the opening round in Florida, he wanted to continue his domination streak. Even if he's able to come from behind and win today, it will not be in the same fashion that he did it in Florida, because Balance is much stronger today, and he has luck on his side as well, where he didn't have it just 1 week ago. So it's Balance, it's Jenks, it's Boric trying to hold on through that Suzuki special test of those big Maxxis tractor tires. Let's go down to the pits with Bill Balance's crew chief, Elliot Skaggs.
We just saw everyone come around for the last lap. Tell me a little bit about where Bill was.
He was coming around in the lead, had about a 5-10 second lead. We went on ahead and pitted him on the 2nd lap. Went with a brand new set of Scott goggles, topped him the rest of the way off with fuel, so he ought to be good to go the rest of the way. Try to get this Yamaha number 1 back up on the podium.
We know Chris Jenks stopped for some fuel and Chris Boric got around him. Do you think Bill would be getting a little worried now?
No, I think he's sitting in pretty good shape. He felt pretty comfortable when he come through and got a splash of water, so, you know, all we can do is hope for the best.
GNCC Racing on OLN brought to you by Polaris. That new Outlaw 500, find out more about it at polarisperformance.com. Bill Balance out front on the factory Yamaha. Boric has now taken 2nd place away from Jenks. This is what we worry about with Jenks early in the year. Last year he led this race. He got tired down the stretch. Let's see what kind of endurance he has. And speaking of, look at that, Yoakley making the move. Oh, almost made the move on Chris Bithel. Yoakley, conserving his energy all day, is streaking late in this one. So is Balance out front. And look at the battle for 2nd here. Boric with Jenks right behind him. They have got a full-scale war for that number 2 spot. And Jenks takes it back around the outside, a bad line for Boric. Balance is gone. No competition today, but look at these two. Now Boric takes it back. What a great battle between the 2 Chris's, going for the runner-up position today and valuable championship points on the line. Balance has served notice. He is going to make it tough on anyone that wants to take that championship away from him this year. But you've got to be even tougher to hold on in this battle. Boric and Jenks taking it down to the wire. Right now, Jenks has it. Boric right behind him, hitting the rev limiter as he hit that slick riverbank out of that water crossing. Balance has to deal with some lap traffic. How will that affect these two? Boric and Jenks, they've got to be tired. Nearly 2 hours in the saddle. They've got to be exhausted, yet still digging down deep and fighting for that number 2 spot. They want the points. They want to be able to stay close to this guy in the standings and challenge him for a championship. Balance, no competition today. He dialed it into the motocross track. Look at this again. Boric to the inside. He makes a move on Jenks. That is the 3rd pass. Now Jenks to the inside, a 4th pass. At the top of the hill, and Boric able to maintain the number 2 position. I don't know the last time we've seen a battle like this. What heart determination between those two. Will their pace carry them to the rear wheels of Balance down the stretch? I'm not sure. They are letting it all hang out. We're getting a glimpse now of some open racetrack. We are nearing the finish line. Balance held up with lappers. He manages to get by. The factory YFZ 450, he's got that machine dialed in this year. It is working superbly. He set the guys up. He hovered, he watched, he waited. He made his move. They had nothing for it. It's all about the battle for second. Borch and Jenks heading into the final miles of the Maxxis General GNCC. The number 4 and the number 2. The throttles to the stops, letting it all hang out in some very rough terrain. Balance is going to hold on to win. The question is that battle for the number 2 spot. Who's going to get it? And it appears it will be Borch taking it over Jenks. Let's go to our winner.
No, it was actually pretty good. My bike was working awesome. New 2006 Yamaha and the new Owen suspension is working awesome. And this thing keeps working like this. This is going to be a dream come true.
Well, Bill Balance needed to win this one after a disaster in the opener in Florida, and he got it. Borch and Jenks right there as well. Definitely serving notice. This is going to be a long championship fight. We'll be with you all year long in OLN. For Rachel Ayers and Rodney Smith, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching.
The Grand National Cross Country Championship is sanctioned by the American Motorcyclist Association. Rights, Riding, Racing. AMA. Join now.